Всем привет, продолжаем проходить Шерлока. Сегодня мы будем больше бегать по основному квесту. Может быть, пройдем несколько побочных. Нам там, кажется, что-то оставили на скамейке. И также мы купили в магазине несколько вещей, так что, может быть, это добавит каких-то воспоминаний и продвинет нас в сюжете. Ну, вот эта коробочка.
My mother always wore this around her neck until one day it disappeared. I was wondering where it went. She said it was a birthday present from a good friend. I just had another glimpse of a memory, John. It's fuzzy, but I'm sure it happens somewhere in the manor.
Finally moving forward. Shall we go?
Мне очень нравятся эти светлячки. Вот единственный минус у них, конечно, это то, что они такие же, ну, практически идентичны к заданию. То есть, когда высвечивается задание, оно тоже светленьким таким желтеньким кружочком светится. Так, во дворе вроде все. Нужно посмотреть. Где ты?
And I envy you. You can ignore any person you're bored with. You don't miss out on much. Most men are dull, unlike yourself.
Well, I'm flattered.
Так. Да, домик преобразился, конечно.
I had a surprise for my mother. You had a shovel with you, John. I was holding an ancient Greek vase, or rather, quite a big piece of it. I remember now, we dug up the vase from Greek ruins here on Cordona, and were eager to show my mother right away. For some reason, the door was closed. We knocked.
But nobody answered. We thought that she was busy.
So we left the vase and ran downstairs. I decided to gather some archaeological tools in order to take a closer look at the vase.
But then we heard something, didn't we?
Yes. Came from upstairs.
The vase was broken, shards scattered all over the floor. And your mother was standing at the door.
Indeed, John. I doubt it was her. Let me concentrate. Otto Richter was standing there, furious at us. Dr. Richter told us never to disturb my mother when the door is closed. He said she had broken the vase.
But we didn't believe him. I bet he smashed it.
То есть наверняка все эти двери в доме открыты, просто он по каким-то личным психологическим причинам, наверное, не может их открыть. Ну или сам не
The
хочет.
things are still here.
Presumably Mycroft never felt the need to saw through it all.
Or couldn't bring himself to.
No. He would have put it behind him and moved on. My brother is not one for sentimentality. It's a strange feeling to read about my father's death in the newspaper. I can't recall anything except the deep feeling of loss.
You were too young. It happened before we even met. It's so sad. I'm sorry. Do you think the doctor could have used these tools here? I hope not.
No labels. I doubt it ever had one. There appear to be residues of the bottle's contents at the bottom. Looks like it was damaged by a blunt object. This room always reeked with an acrid medicinal stench. And here is the reason. This picture was drawn by my mother. I recognize her hand. There's a date on it, 8th of December, 1868. This seems a bit odd. I can recognize my mother's style, but it's far too sloppy. Dated 12th of February, 1869. It's difficult to tell what this is meant to represent. There's no date at all.
Это напоминает мне вот работы того же Ван Гога, и когда у него прогрессировала эта вот шизофрения. То же самое было.
Straps on the bed. Just doesn't look right. Seems this was the most frequently used medication. 1 dram dissolved in a glass of water, administered daily. Not to exceed 1 dose in 24 hours, not to be given to children. Oh, it brings back some memories.
Oh, I would love to take a bath right now.
Not this one. Surface corrosion suggests it was prone to extreme temperature fluctuations. For medical purposes, I suppose. My mother loved flowers. They made her smile. I remember we would bring a new bouquet every week to make her a bit happier.
That's why we collected all the violet flowers we could find on the island. Look what I found! The White King is under attack. Sherry, can you save him and checkmate the opponent in one move? Oh, nice move. You saved the king and checkmated the Black King with the rook.
The broken plate shards were all over the floor. Mycroft had to change his suit as the one he was wearing was completely stained. Mother was troubled that morning. Something we did upset her. Dr. Richter tried to calm her down. We had to put the tray with Mother's morning tea down, but why? It's starting to ring a bell. I think it happened in the morning.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
I don't believe you! Liars! Get away from me! It's not true! It's not real!
What? Oh.
Everything will be okay, Sherry. I promise.
It was the morning of the 9th of April, the day my mother died. My mother, she was not just ill, but mad. God have mercy.
I'm sorry. That explains why you locked the memory away.
There must be more, John. That was the morning of her death. I need to know what happened. John!
Every time you... I just don't... Please, Sherry, leave it be.
Just breathe, John. You know that I cannot leave the last stone unturned. We are so close.
I know. But can we at least leave it for another day?
Well, history tells us these memories are triggered by our investigation of other matters. I suspect it could not be forced even if I so desired.
Thank you. How are you feeling about all this? Tell me, I'm not the only one reeling.
It feels wrong, sad. Like they're the memories of another man. I'm struggling to reconcile my love for my mother with the reality of who she was. And worse, what possessed Mycroft to lie about it? There are precious few pieces of this puzzle remaining, John. Let us dawdle here no longer.
Indeed. Wait, did you hear that?
Yes. Metallic souls. What is this sailor doing here?
Каждый раз, когда мы проходим по основному квесту, вот с Джоном что-то происходит, он как пропадает. Я так подозреваю в конце игры. Ой, ну ладно, короче.
Sherlock Holmes, isn't it? I was looking for you.
With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
You could call me your new game. The rules are simple. I have something for you, but you alone must work out what that is.
And that something is my prize, I suppose?
You're a fast learner, sir.
Думаю, это.
I cannot believe that Mr. Vogel has somehow successfully called my attention to his gallery. You're here with an invitation to visit it, obviously.
My word, you are fast, Mr. Holmes. Could you explain how you came to that conclusion?
Of course. Explanations are my favorite part of any conversation. Hands without any sign of regular physical activity, in contradiction to one who would most usually wear such a uniform. The paint in your hair is pink. I don't know of any military service that paints their ships pink, unless they have launched a new fashionable fleet. A sailor with the soul of an artist? I would suggest rather a gallery employee disguised as a sailor to mislead me. How many artists on the island know where I live and of my passion for deduction? Werner Vogel is clearly at the top of the list. And you've been attempting to conceal something square-shaped within your pocket. An invitation, I suppose. An invitation to Mr. Vogel's gallery.
That was remarkable, Mr. Holmes. Mr. Vogel was right about your genius. I think he may have even underestimated you. This is your invitation. Please tell Mr. Vogel that the seed has been planted. He asked me to tell you to do so, if you win this little game. Farewell.
Так, старый город, базар и Гермес. Базар и Гермес. Посмотрим. Но сначала купим мебель. Это очень важно. Сейчас отметим. Помню.
Masterpieces by local. My goods will brighten up your house. Enjoy your purchase.
Так, где-то еще было. Тут.
Don't miss out.
Don't miss out on the.
Merhaba. It's a good day for a purchase. May your purchase.
Так, может, еще где-то есть? Есть. Отлично.
Extra, extra! Thief throttled! A lady was living a double life as a professional.
The best antiques in the... My goods will brighten up your house. Enjoy your purchase.
Эй, простите. Ах, помню, сколько я искала этого продавца.
Refresh your interior. Pick what you like. My goods will brighten up your house. Enjoy your purchase.
Спасибо. Где еще? Ну, вроде все. Так, теперь идем по заданию. Наверное, сейчас пройдем все-таки побочку быстро. Потом пойдем по основному. Ангер-стрит, Скаладио. Вот. Сраунд где-то здесь.
I'm having deja vu. This house seems so familiar.
Greetings. Would you be here about my violin by any chance?
I am. I saw from your posters that it was stolen. The name is Sherlock Holmes.
Very pleased to meet you, Mr. Holmes. I'm Anthony Jones. But by the sounds of it, you haven't seen my instrument, alas. But if there's anything you can do to help locate it, I'd be most glad.
Just tell me exactly what happened. How was your violin stolen?
Some needy soul broke into my home while I was out. The only thing of value they took was the instrument.
Did you report the theft to the police?
I did, but they dismissed it as petty theft. Don't get me wrong, I don't blame them. They certainly have more important matters to deal with.
It would be another crime if I let some petty thief get away with your beloved violin. Let me help you find it.
Oh, thank you very much. I cannot tell you how grateful I am. Oh, come inside, I'll show you everything.
Ну, пошли посмотрим.
Feel free to look around.
The door was kicked in. The thief left the bow. I suppose he prefers pizzicato. The scrap of fabric is covered in white stains. Clumsy of a thief to cut himself on the glass he just broke. The jagged bottle reeks of cheap whiskey. An utterly useless theft deterrent for a glass display case. Nothing was taken except for the violin. How odd. These are intricate pieces of music, quite beautiful if my sight reading holds true. I see you've received many accolades.
Ah, those are from a long time ago. I used to perform a lot in my youth.
I can't hear anything. Has it got strings?
This cover is dusty. It hasn't been taken off for a long time.
Anything else you'd like to know?
Does anyone else live here?
No. My dear Emily died long ago. And God never blessed us with children. I used to give music lessons. But nobody visits me anymore.
You weren't here when the burglary happened, correct?
I was tending to my wife's grave at the cemetery. I was only gone a few hours and locked the door before leaving.
The trail stops here among the waste.
Hello, sir. Would you like some fruit? Fresh from the orchard?
I'm not hungry, but I'm looking for a violin that was stolen. Any chance you saw someone with one?
Oh, yes, I did. It was sailors, sir. And they were very good customers. They ate lots of fruit and said that my donkey looks like their friend. Lieutenant Sean.
A lieutenant. Did you see where they went?
No, sorry, sir. I was helping other buyers. Oh, and sir, the sailors also took my donkey. So I guess they weren't very good customers. They promised to return him, but they didn't come back. My father will kill me if he finds out. So I'm still waiting here for them.
Do you know Anthony Jones, the musician? He lives nearby.
Of course. Mr. Jones is very kind. He never barters. Funny you ask.
I'm yet to crack a smile, so pray tell.
Well, the first time they came by, the sailors mentioned something about music, so I told them Mr. Jones can teach them how to play. Wait, so what is his violin? Oh.
You couldn't have known they would steal from the old man. Fortunately, you made up for it with your testimony. I'll find them and your donkey soon enough. Stay put. May I ask you something?
Oh, every story has a price. You're lucky I'm telling you this for free.
Someone must have seen where they took it. It's a donkey, for heaven's sake.
Он был здесь. Куда же он пошел? Питьевой фонтан — это не здесь? Интересно. Арка.
We have a large assortment and pleasant prices.
Refresh your interior. Pick what you like.
Арки здесь нет. Вот питьевой фонтан. Ага, вот оно.
The donkey was being stubborn, but so were they.
There we are. The first lead in our asinine chase. One of them lost his cat.
Что, не возьму ее?
One of them lost his cat.
Похоже, не надо нам.
They certainly bought a lot of fruit from the boy. Fear of scurvy, perhaps?
A pile of dung. An act of defiance. I hope it got on their shoe.
Another bottle of whiskey. This must be Lieutenant Sean. The sailors couldn't get him inside the tavern.
Don't forget to point the boy to his donkey on our way back.
Mm-hmm.
Grief, those drunks are wreaking havoc in there. Grief, those drunks.
I was being very stealthy, Sherlock, and you threw it all away. Come on, pull yourself together.
Grief, those drunks are
Это здесь или где? Ага, вот здесь. Ой, так, чтобы не драться, можно? Похоже, нет.
When a king is out, like hell.
Ты стреляет в меня?
Don't cry, you'll live.
Что еще? Что ж вас так много?
No more crime for you, and
the snuff's ready.
Кто? Где? Кому?
I'm gonna hurt you.
Take a rest,
Что ж
my
еще?
friend.
Обалдеть.
Put you 6 feet under.
No more crime for you until...
Don't give him the pepper snuff.
Кому? Где?
It won't work this way.
Ой, зря
I'm
потратила.
coming for you.
Кто?
No more crime for you until next month.
I'm coming.
Боже, сколько их. Давай ближе подойди.
Don't bother
Ow,
moving.
ow.
You've lost. Too simple.
The snuff's ready.
Ах ты ж.
Terribly sorry. Take a rest, my friend.
Обалдеть, даже не убили никого. Отлично.
Well, they left me no choice. I think I might be nearing intoxication myself just from the smell of them.
Все. Так, надо скрипку найти. Угу. Вот она.
The maker's stamp suggests it was made by a student of Pressender. Quite a lovely instrument.
And somehow, after all the mayhem, it's still in one piece.
Так, надо найти мальчика.
I found your donkey. It's not far from here, outside the Wet Whiskers Tavern. You'd better go after it before someone decides to borrow it again.
Thank you, sir. I'll be quick as a flash. Hey, Yusuf, please look after my cart, okay? And don't eat anything. Well, you can have a couple of grapes, but only the small ones.
Well done. I look forward to the beautiful reunion.
Here's your violin, Mr. Jones. It might have gained a few nicks and scratches, but considering what it's been through, it's a miracle that it's still in one piece.
God bless you. I am deeply in your debt, Mr. Holmes. The scratches don't matter. They are like scars, each telling a story. It is the sound that matters. Oh, you should hear her sing.
It would be my pleasure.
This melody, Sherlock. Don't you recognize it? Look up, Sherry. There used to be an attic up there. We used to sneak in from the roof and listen to Mr. Jones play when we were children. You should tell the old man the truth. I think it will mean a lot to him.
Bravo! I'd forgotten how beautiful a violin sounds in the skilled hands of a virtuoso. That, melody, it brought back some memories. I have a confession to make, Mr. Jones. As a child, I used to sneak into the attic above this very room and listen to you play. Spellbound by the music.
Oh, so that was you. After my wife's death, it was difficult to pick up the violin again. But knowing someone was listening helped me persevere. In fact, a young man like yourself could breathe a second life into this instrument. It's a remarkable outlet for one's emotion. You should have it.
I can't accept that. And, well, I don't play.
It's never too late to learn, Mr. Holmes. The way I see it, the violin chose you. Take good care of her.
Sherry, I'm really glad we helped him.
Класс. Я тоже. Так. Гермес, базар, старый город. Старый город. Гермес. Вот. Где-то здесь.
Do you know anything about this?
Nobody cares about us. So why should we care about anybody?
Excuse me, just one question.
As much as I'd like to help you, I know nothing about this.
Everyone's looking at us, Sherry. You sure you know what you're doing?
Куда-то сюда.
Is this familiar to you?
Nothing stands between me and helping a fellow citizen, except the absence of knowledge. Ask someone else.
Где-то здесь, на перекрестке. Пошли посмотрим. Может, здесь? Нет. Неужели нашли? Смотрим. Да.
Mr. Holmes, you came. Oh, how kind. Though now, of course, I realize it is because of my game, not the works on display.
It needn't be one or the other. Your man's disguise was easily debunked, Mr. Vogel, but I shall admit that you planted in me the seed of curiosity.
Ah, terrific! I had no doubt you'd put the pieces together. Let us call it an opening gambit before the real game begins.
So, this little game of yours, what's it about?
An enigma to solve. A locked area in the basement with no windows found brutally vandalized. I have no clue how it was possible.
What about this intrusion? What happened?
Last night, I was about to leave the gallery when I heard a noise downstairs. I went to the basement, but I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. It was admittedly a rudimentary inspection. It is not uncommon to get rats down there, so seeing nothing of note, I left and locked up the building. When I returned this morning, alas, I discovered that part of the exhibition had been torched, and there was no sign of the intruder. The mystery being, of course, that all the doors to the gallery were locked exactly as I left them.
And the door to the basement is the only entrance?
Correct. Tell me you're not intrigued.
And this locked area downstairs, what exactly was it?
The under gallery. It's always shut, and I'm the only one with the key.
Ah, so this is your private collection, not part of the gallery.
Oh, no. It's an exclusive exhibition of eccentric pieces. Only a select cadre of artists, investors, and collectors are admitted. Not everyone deserves to have their eyes opened.
Well, this matter is certainly within my wheelhouse.
This intrusion troubles me. Please take a look around if you're willing. The under gallery is through the door at the end.
I will see what I see.
You sure you don't like art, Sherry? Back home, we've got a taxidermist. He's gonna have a heart attack when he sees what I bring him.
A simplistic attempt at provocation. The left step's length is shorter than the right. It indicates that the walker was lame. Old, and hasn't been used for a long time. Closed with a metal bolt. Footprints. Size 9.5. A true artist never shows an unfinished piece.
Sherry, how about some company in that dreary chamber of yours?
Leave my loneliness unbroken, John. A handprint of the thing from another world. But it looks fresh, and its coal origin ruins the effect of the extra mundane.
Да уж, галерейка, конечно, та еще.
Sodden and mold-ridden. One presumes deliberately.
Сейчас сюда придем, смотрим, что там.
The parasites of creativity. Or just a reflection of the artist's recreational interests. Saturn devouring his sun, of grim composition.
Unflinching in its ferocity, yet somehow beautiful.
Ugh, sheer vandalism. Only an ignorant person could do such a thing. A Maupau butt. Coal fingerprints. I think we're looking for a man with a coal moustache.
Сейчас посмотрим, может тут еще что-то. Не, ну это уже чересчур. Попробуем, конечно, если не получится этот вариант, но... Ну, это совсем уже.
The intruder entered the basement through the coal chute. He used a magnet to open the hatch bolt. He accidentally pushed a shovel to the floor. Vogel heard the noise. At the sound of his approaching footsteps, the intruder hid inside the coffin. When Vogel entered the basement, he failed to notice anything strange and left without properly checking. The intruder waited until Vogel had left the caravanserai before burning the paintings in Wilde's room, but the vandalism was a cover for the theft. The pieces are not what I expected. What do you think my collection is about? Extravagant paintings have been left to rot in a basement. A commentary on decay and the crumbling of society, correct? I don't know. Well, that's absurd. Of course you know. It's your gallery.
There is no one answer, no singular truth, but many filtered through the subjective mind. That forgetting, embellishing, lying machine. Besides, what's wrong with a lie if it makes life more interesting?
What's wrong with a lie? It corrupts the ability of others to behave freely and rationally.
Men never act freely and rationally anyway. It matters not what is or isn't in the end. The only important thing is how you feel. And I simply want to feel and consume as much as I can. Don't you?
Feelings are simply one's animal ancestry trying to wrest back control of the brain. I try to avoid the distraction.
You try not to feel, even in a place like this? None of it moves you?
To be frank, I struggle to maintain even a whit of interest in art.
But Mr. Holmes, it is joy incarnate, mankind's greatest achievement.
Mankind's highest achievement above all others is objective and rational thought.
I see then why you dislike art, for it means whatever you want it to.
Or perhaps, Mr. Vogel, I was lying.
Aha.
Mr. Vogel, my investigation has revealed that the intrusion was not merely vandalism, but theft. The limping visitor left your place with a canvas.
That's very impressive.
This thief was familiar with the gallery, and he was sporting a limp. Do any of your clients or artists come to mind?
My, your attention to detail is remarkable, Mr. Holmes. I should introduce you to Bosch's works. Alas, I'm afraid I cannot suggest a culprit.
The fire was a clever attempt to hide a stolen painting, even if it didn't fool me. I found the remnants of an empty frame in the pile of ashes. The canvas had been removed. Do you know which paintings in the Wilde room may have interested a thief? Were any particularly expensive?
Those pieces belong to a well-known artist named Boniface Mercurio. They're controversial, but not of a notably high value.
The intruder entered the basement through the coal chute. He used a magnet to open the latch and dislodged the shovel while doing so. That's the noise you heard yesterday. When you went downstairs to investigate, he hid in the coffin.
It seems I should have checked the space more thoroughly.
There's something more, is there not? I can see it in your eyes.
Indeed. There is another intriguing angle. I recently received an anonymous offer for one of Mercurio's works. The sum was more than fair, and indeed could have saved Mercurio from his artistic poverty. But he declined it.
Was it a performative whim? Some artists lionize pain and hardship as if their work would be worse after a meal and a hot bath.
I cannot tell. But not only did he refuse the deal, he insisted on displaying the painting in the public space. I was hoping to change his mind, but artists are a special breed of stubborn.
What was depicted in the piece?
A bound woman, wrapped in robes, being penetrated by a red devil that stared at us, the viewer. The beast had numerous tails growing from his back, and a large crowd gathered around the pair, silently watching the orgiastic scene.
Okay, well, given the nature of the other works on display, it's hard to see why that one stood out. What could possibly be its value?
The evaluation of art is very subjective, Mr. Holmes. After all, art is everything. A poem, a bruise, the beads of sweat on your beloved skin. Even a masterfully solved crime.
I'm not sure I see the connection.
Regardless, the painting was one of a series called The Sabbath Night in Cordona. The works depict sex, violence, and other controversial acts that life, for better or worse, contains.
Ah, I see.
I'm not sure that you do, but that can wait for another time.
So where can I find Boniface Mercurio?
I know he lives somewhere in Old City, but couldn't be more specific. He's a prominent figure, so finding him shouldn't be a problem.
Well, I believe I have enough to begin. Thank you, Mr. Vogel. Your gallery certainly has unexpected depths.
I'm delighted to have been able to please a friend. In return, I expect you to come back with good news. Or at least with a good story.
Итак, идем где-то искать в старом городе этого художника. Ну еще бы. Так, где мы были? Ну, это явно подсказка. Может, где-то возле мэрии. Мне кажется. Смотрим. Если она здесь есть. Смотровая площадка. Может, где-то здесь? Смотрим.
The barracks are off limit to civilians.
Nice affordable clothes. Let's pick something that suits you. A good choice. A good choice indeed.
You aren't here to relieve me from duty, are you?
Может, здесь где-то?
Excuse me, just one question.
I don't know, but I'm sure there are others who'd be glad to help a fella in uniform.
May I ask you something?
I'd help you if I could, but I know nothing.
Ну да, вряд ли здесь художник живет, конечно, хотя... Нет, не там.
Look at that airship. That is some view. At least something's changed since the last time we were here. I bet that toy isn't cheap.
Well, it's gorgeous. From an engineering point of view, at least. Let's take a closer look through this telescope.
Блин, я что, круг навернула? Не может быть.
Can I ask you a question?
You shouldn't have left your mansion. You won't get any answers from me.
А если так?
May I ask you something?
That's new to me. There is nothing I can tell you.
Everyone's looking at us, Sherry. You sure you know what you're doing?
Ну, я просто ищу красные двери.
May I ask for your assistance?
No, brother. That's out of my knowledge.
Ой, где же?